Good morning, everybody. And once again, we're here on our Jing's Wondrous Lotus Sutra review. Once again, it's Saturday. And once again is our time to share online and share our thoughts, share our studies and understandings of the Dharma. Now, I think I've always had this idea that I think Dharma is like, the idea of Dharma is like a stream of water that it's always there and people need it when they are thirsty. But when they're not thirsty, then it's there to look pretty. It's there to be part of the landscape. But it is there and it is nurturing life all around us, with or without us knowing. I think just as I mentioned before, we don't realize the very small things that's happening around us. For example, how your hair grows, how your nail grows, and how your skin becomes older or becomes thicker or start wrinkled. Those are the things that happen around us or on us that we don't see, but that's happening. Just like the river is there and it's nurturing life all around the land. We don't see that, but we do see the very big things. For example, we are thirsty and therefore we go and fetch the water. And that's I think that's a very close analogy on how we treat water or how we treat Dharma. The analogy of the Dharma to the water is not just how it can wash things away, but also how we take it for granted, how it's all around us and we only use it when we need it. And sometimes we abuse it. Sometimes we ignore it, but it's there and nurturing life all around us, whether we know it or not, whether it's big or small. And that's what it does all along. But when we don't use it, the houses that has a river or the ocean view gets the highest price. Why? Because people like to look over the ocean and people like to look over the river, have a great landscape, right? And so therefore, when we don't use it, it looks pretty. It looks good on you. And that's how we treat Dharma. So today, we're going to talk about how we can apply Dharma in life. Because we don't want it just for it to look pretty. We don't want to just talk about it and be able to say, hey, I know Dharma and it supposedly makes me look better. It's not just for decoration, even though it does make people look better. When you do start to use it as part of the decoration. Why? Because it's deep, it's profound. It's something that connects you. People like water. Why? Because we need it to live, right? We need it to live. So we are inherently drawn to it. That's why we like it. That's why even when we don't use it, we like it. Okay. So today we're going to talk about how to apply Dharma in life. And honestly, today's session is supposed to be hosted by Master Huang. And as Master Huang still has duties in the abode, so Master is going to be a little bit late, and that is why I'm filling in the spot. So this is a little bit different from how I used to share, but I just prepare something short and hopefully meaningful to fill this spot. Okay, so let me continue. Okay. Okay. Today, Shou Shifu just walked in, and okay. So how do you apply Dharma in life? As I mentioned, I think it's a very key question to many aspects of our life. So how do you do that? For example, the Four Noble Truths. This is something that I mentioned before. This is something that I shared before, because I really believe that there's more to the Four Noble Truths than the Four Noble Truths that we are memorizing. So for example, the Four Noble Truths. And these are the truth of suffering, the truth of the cause of suffering, the truth of the end of suffering, and the truth of the path that leads to the end of suffering. So you can see that the four truths all has the word suffering in it. And it talks about the suffering, the cause of it, the end of it, and the path that leads to the end of it. Okay. So the reason why I wanted to bring this is to use this as an example on how do you apply this in your life, right? So how do you apply the Four Noble Truths? And I think there is one approach that we can use. It's called the scientific approach. And this is the approach that I share many times to people, how Buddhism itself is very scientific, right? Because the very first thing is, so it talks about the truth of suffering. So the first thing that we do is, instead of memorizing the Four Noble Truths and then think that we know what it means, we use it. We use it as a framework. And the first step is identify and observe the problems that we're facing and understand the cause of the problem. And that is the first two truths that we're talking about. The truth of suffering, that is the problem. And then the truth of the cause to the suffering, and that is the cause. How does this come to be? Why did this happen? Understand the cause of the problem, and then be resolved, be resolute in solving the problems. That is the truth of the cessation, of the ending of the problem, of the suffering. Be resolved, be resolute in going on, unwavered. You believe that this is the problem that we want to solve, and you believe and you have faith that this is the problem that you need to solve, and then just do it. That's the path that leads to the end of suffering. And I think that is a very scientific approach to looking at what the Four Noble Truths are. It's not there for us to memorize. You know, it's great to be able to recite what the Four Noble Truths are. It's great to be able to throw it into the conversation as part of the declaration to show that you understand the basics, the fundamentals of what the Buddha taught us. But how do you apply it? Is the idea how the Buddha taught us when he found that there was suffering. What did he do? He then realized that there is suffering and there's no one that can escape it. Then he began to think about how. He began to think about where did it come from. He began to think about, well, I am determined to end this. I am determined to bring the end and to teach more people, and then to tell everybody that the path to do that is to follow these steps. And these are all very practical, and they should be, because it comes from the resolution of problems. Okay, so that's the Four Noble Truths. And I think that important parts are: observe the present and the past, know the present problem, and know the past of how it came to be. Resolve in the present. Make sure that you're resolved and unwavered to solve this problem, and then the path to the future. But is this all? Is Buddhism all a framework for scientific approach? It's not, but let's continue. So for example, the fulfillments, the 6 fulfillments that are required for the passing on of the Dharma, right? For example, this fulfillment of belief, of hearing, of time, of host, of place, and audience. Understanding that in order for the Dharma to be taught and to be passed on, you need to have someone that believes you. You need to have you need to have the basic belief in what you're saying. You need to have the people to hear what you say. The hearing part, the time, the place, the people, and the audience are all very important. And Master Huang is here, and very quickly we'll turn it over. I'm about approaching the end. And so the six fulfillments, the same thing. The scientific approach is the requirements that need to be fulfilled for the achievement. What are the requirements? So for example, what are your six fulfillments? What are your six fulfillments to fulfill what you want to accomplish? What are those, right? What do you need? Do you need the audience? Do you need the faith and belief? Do you need the host? Do you need the time and the place? So maybe that's what we talked about, the 5 W's and 1 H. The 5 W's are the what, the where, the why, the when, and then finally the how. All these are the scientific approach to think about. And I think what all these are the technical parts, asking the key questions, and then breaking them down to execute the longer solution. This is very scientific, and this is very object-oriented in that you look at the goal, and then you figure out the path, and then you break it down, and you do it one by one. So figuring out what your answers are, and then you break it down. For example, last night we talked about, in episode 688, we talked about the Four Noble Truths and the 37 Principles of Enlightenment. And then understand this, that the path that leads to the end of the suffering, you break it down into 37 steps. And that's what the 37 paths of the enlightenments, principles of enlightenments are. There are 37 different parts to this path, and you accomplish one at a time. And that's what it does. This is what scientific approach tells you, that if the solution is too long and the solution is too big, break it down and execute it one at a time. But is it all? And I think the answer is no. I don't think Buddhism is just a tool. I don't think Buddhism is just about how to best use the tools. We should remember the core of Buddhism. If we are only using the tools, then we're only using the first part of the core, which is the cause and effect. Cause and effect is an ideal, and it's also a tool that we need to use to see and to resolve our problems. But the root of all this is compassion. Buddha taught us the tools and the ways to resolve our suffering. But most importantly, it's suffering. It's the compassion that gave us the unlimited end, the unlimited energy that we have to resolve all these problems. And I like what I think it was Sharon that said yesterday, that Sister Sharon that said yesterday, that the permanence, we all understand that there, in Buddhism, we always talked about impermanence, but Sharon shared with us yesterday that the permanence actually comes from the belief and the faith, and the most important, the self-willingness of your drive to bring the end to suffering. And that self-willingness to end suffering is compassion. I can give you all the tools to make it easy, but if you don't want to do it, it doesn't matter how easy it gets. And that drive is called compassion. That is how we drive forward. So it's not just enough to know the tools. It's more important to know where the drive is. Because when you have the drive, doesn't matter how difficult it is, you're going to do it. But Buddha also taught us how to make it easier. So that's my sharing for today about how to apply and how do you think about all these teachings. They all break it down. It's the ideals, the tools you can use to make it easy, and most importantly, the drive, the core, the roots is compassion. Without it, it doesn't matter how easy it gets. You don't want to do it, okay? So that's my sharing for today. We're going to turn it over to Master Huang, and we're going to switch over to the PPT. Thank you.
Hi, hello again, everyone. Good morning. It's another Saturday, and thank you. Actually, I didn't hear what BrotherJoe shared to you guys just now, but I think just I want to give some my personal, which is recently I have heard from Master's sermon on this wisdom medal this morning, and I think it gave me a very deep impression regarding Master always reminds us that our one thought give rise to either good or bad contribution of karma. Is regarding the action what we have done through our 5 chronic disease or the 5 acute disease afflictions. This all depends on what we have done. But actually, and I just want to share with you guys regarding about this. So because last week I got a chance to share a topic with embracing diversity with our Americans volunteers through they're having a workshop and online training. So just want to share that they give us a topic regarding this and how we use Master's teaching the 4 kinds of ingredients for the spiritual soup, which is we all already know that it's containment and gratitude and acceptance and so forth. So just want to mention that again, as we know the core spirit from the Buddha, which is telling us that everyone is born with an innate Buddha nature. And if our have been awakened, so I think definitely we will willing to give out ourselves and to help others. So we believe that we have a compassion in our heart. But how this is not a we have to live it out and to practice into the action. This is we very lucky we got masters who lead us to go through this bodhisattva path by practicing through our personal to involve in the activities so that we can witness it by ourselves and we can get through this experience from our own. So as we know the 6 words which is masters always keep deeply in her heart, and which is we know this is for Buddha's teaching and for sentient being. So we just follow Master's steps and to follow this core spirit of our Tzu Chi Jing Dharma lineage. So, but I think maybe some of you just get started to join Tzu Chi, or maybe you are already been joined Tzu Chi for a couple of years. But I think, do you know there's a difference between those who learn Dharma and those who don't? Even though you are volunteers, but if you don't listen to Master's teaching, maybe you don't have that method when you encounter some difficulties. Maybe the way you solve the problem will take you a long time. So I think the problem is like for those who know that we on the chapter of peaceful practices, it teaches how to be a living bodhisattva. So actually it teaches what we can do and what we should prevent when we serve people in the society. Actually, we are bound to encounter different ways of to learn to avoid them. So very grateful on this chapter on peaceful practices. The Bodhisattva Manjusri, he heard the Buddha encourage his disciple, which is 2,500 years ago, and the disciple to go among people to serve the Dharma and deliver all living beings. So Manjusri knew that in the way they encounter many difficulties. So he asked the Buddha, is there, since they have many difficulties in walking the Bodhisattva path, could you tell us and so that we can practice the way we join? And the Buddha answered that if we aspire to walk the Bodhisattva path, we must have a great compassion. Only with a great compassion, you gradually you will practicing to enhancing your kindness, loving kindness, and you will can't bear to see the living being who are suffer. So and also we need to be gentle and forbearing. And if without this kind of spirit in within us, so how can we serve people smoothly or joyous? So I think, as we know, Tzu Chi starts small, from small, and bit by bit, and we become a large organization. And through different countries, different nations. So remember that we should never underestimate ourselves and think, I'm just one person, what difference can I make? Even though a single thought that gives rise in from your heart, and you never speed up, no one people would know what you want to do. Even though we are in a team, yeah, you have to work together with our members and to share this our experience and through the process. So, but what kind of mindset are you taking on this Bodhisattva path? Are you, you are have a kind heart of casually when you have time to just go, or with conscientiously you really put much effort and try your best to do it, or you are just sporadically and just like you think that it doesn't if I don't involve, there's someone will join. I think this I'm not so important. Maybe you could think that. But I think the important thing is no matter what time or how much effort you put on, I think please remember that this is 4 types of method which is help us to get the works done smoothly. The 4 ingredients for contentment at the beginning. So as we know that actions speak louder than words. So this is what masters always teach us. We are not just listen to Dharma and do the meditation, but we have to go among the people and to serve. This is how we gain our knowledge. So as not just in Taiwan, but around the world, we do the same common mission, which is we start our charity work at first, and we continue. We go to the remote area, or we, to some villages or town to help those people for the home visiting. So through this process, and I just want to say that the only thing is we give you great and selfless love, and you just contribute your time. So you must have a containment and to know that you are how blessing you are, so that you are able to help people. So I think it's for us to see the affinity, we must to continue this affinity with those needy people, so that we can get a very close relationship with them, and this is how we sow the good deeds in their heart. So this is the beginning step that we must have a contentment that we are blessing people, so we're able to help those people who need. So no matter how rich a country is, surely they will have people who suffer from poverty or sickness. So I'm very thankful that for all different branches, for Tzu Chi's office, located in different areas, and we are doing our best to serve our local communities. So there's a saying, a friend is in need is a friend indeed. So I think so. As we volunteer or do the home visiting, we never ask them about their background, no matter what color skins they are, or what religions, or the different kind of status, the position they have. But I think as we know from age to age, there were all kinds of religions in this world. So when we help people, we never ask regarding this. So that this is the first point that we must remember. But we should know that this is the beginning only. So and acceptance, applying the teaching of acceptance is like I would just want to stress that there's no discrimination regarding among peoples who you are facing to. So for sentient being, we just go ahead and do it. So would like to say that how should one look at wealth and poverty, and how can we strike a balance between them? So it's very common for everyone. We know that Master say when we have a containment, and we know that for the charitable organization, we helping those people, and they often think that they will lose their sense of worth, and they will their personal will look down upon themselves in society. But masters teach us that when we give some distribution aids to the needy people, the suppliers to the recipients, we must pay respect with two hands and a bow, and thanking them to give us a chance to do this good work. This is the beginning. We must harbor gratitude and the contentment that, again, that we are so lucky people. So, and let's talk about the country, Indonesia. As we know, this is a Muslim country. So, but before the pandemic, the Orientals in Indonesia, they already been giving of themselves throughout more than 20 years. But this year, masters praise them that for the rich people, they call on others business partnerships and to join the great love. Instead, they are transform a New Year gathering for the business people into an act of charity and assert their great power of love, and put their relief and helping and benefited to millions of families. So must say, in that way, people in different races, this is a chance for our Chinese society with the local Muslim citizens have a chance to interact each other. And this is a very great scenario that we must like to see. And the second is, for us, is the teaching of gratitude is by cultivating both wisdom and blessing. So for those who rich people, when they witness, the unimaginable degree of poverty and suffering, people who they never have that kind of experience. So therefore, they will count blessing by themselves, and they were inspired greatly and truly realize that the power of their ability to help with a sense of gratitude as they personally distribute to help these people. And they will still start to realize that the luxuries they have enjoyed are is very different from the people who are not as rich as they are. So as we know that, how should we look at the wealth and poverty when you do the home visiting? So Master say this is a grand lesson for us to start to, just like again is with the bless. No matter how rich you are, but still the person who are poor, they are able to help people as well. So not really the rich people who are able to help, but not is can be done by everyone, because there's a saying, we help educate the rich and we help the poor. So this is there are two different ways, but I think they can be come together. 结合一起，就是这样，就是两个不同的理念。Okay. So, and how we enhancing the spiritual reach is, as I mentioned, masters teachers. When we educate the rich to help the poor, but likewise in other way, we also inspire the poor people, and never underestimate themselves. Even though a single cent, they still can donate to the bamboo bank, and they will start to gradually to accumulate their blessing by with a drop by drop the single cents that they drop into the bamboo bank. So I think it is very important. But as we are a team, a group of people, so definitely we must having different opinions. But how we cultivate our understanding and the forbearance within each other, this is very important. So as long as when we have a discussion, maybe some people who will try to demean us on the purpose, and tries to not disagree what we suggest, and so different opinions and so on. So, but how we embrace it with forbearance and learn how to keep away from such circumstances. Remember, the incidents are occasionally and will transcend and may be fed the truth when it's revealed. So we just wait until the time, just passing through. So we don't need to give too much of explanation. So we just, and practicing to understanding and to learn how to listen in people's opinion, and we just like don't try want to verbally and to be like arguing with people. I think there's not the main point for us to have this kind of unnecessary condition that make us like anger each other or we hatred each other and so on. So remember, we are a team, not one self to do good things. So as we humble ourselves and respect others' opinions so that we can get things done smoothly and joyfully. So it is and nearly to the last, but I think the important thing is like the Lotus Sutra at the chapter of the Dharma teachers is telling us that the Buddha began urging people to be Bodhisattva. So if you think only you yourself are the great person, or so definitely no one will follow your step to do the charity works. And so that how can we pass on the Tzu Chi spirits from from generation to generation? It's very important is we have to recruit more living Bodhisattva to join us. So when we are, as a team, we must remember everyone's have the potential and they have the ability to do things with different way, but must believe that definitely will be getting done if we can cooperate and in a very harmonious status. So how we transform our bad to good, it depends on how we have a broader heart. So remember that we must recruit living Bodhisattva with accepting every person that you encounter too, especially in our team members. And we have to work together for a very long time. So remember that we must have a deep faith on people and believe on them. And it's very important. So, and this is what masters tell us that it's very honor for us if we could pass on this precious love and kindness to our future generation. So since our Tzu Chi has done many things for more than 55 years, and hope that the life stories of every Wondrous who stay in this world and the people in a future, they might, will think that, this is many years ago, there was a group of people who called Tzu Chi in our world. So we must remember that perhaps in the future, our Tzu Chi volunteer will be honored to say that, oh, my grandpa or grandma or my mom or dad, they've been part of a Tzu Chi member before, and this is what they have done and this and that from the history that we know. So it's very important that when we're passing on the Dharma for well-being to our world, for very carry on from years to years. So as we are going to celebrate our Tzu Chi 55 years anniversaries, so and looking some years of Tzu Chi, and masters already told us that our Tzu Chi will continue to this spirit to the infinite space and time. So how we will continue to widespread the same spirit as well to this world. So I think this is the sharing that I can share with you guys today, and I'll pass it over to Sister Xiaojing, and thank you. Thank you.
And Master Huang for the very wonderful insights. It's truly very grateful to be benefited by both Master Huang and BrotherJoe today this morning. And we are going, I think it can carry us on to the second part where we have Sister Sihu who will represent Tzu Chi Malaysia to share. I think the first time hearing this part when it was shared by Kevin, pure practitioners during one of the evening Mondays charity briefing. Brother Kevin mentioned as he flipped through the reports, he could not believe what he saw. The year-end blessing of Hualien, which was broadcasted to a global. Out of that total global participants, 2/3, if I'm not mistaken, came from this place, Tzu Chi, Malaysia. So today we are very grateful to have, I think Master sent Sister Sihu to us. Her signs appeared everywhere. We saw Sister Sihu helping to translate Brother Paulo's new songs. And Sister Sihu also helped to guide us through the Sutra of Infinite Meanings, the one organized by Brother Chris. So gratefully, we immediately say okay when asked if she can, because she could access to the report. So very grateful. Okay, without much, and also Sister reminded me of these two virtues which BrotherJoe mentioned on Saturday, the faith and sincerity. Faith indeed, mother of all merits, nurture all roots of goodness. Having the faith in Master's teaching and the deepest sincerity. We will hear what I meant by this sincerity and deep respect. Okay, over to you, Sister Sihu.
Okay, first of all, a very good morning to Master Huang from Jing Board and BrotherJoe and other Reverend Masters in the Jing Board and fellow members online. I think I must be very grateful to Sister Tzu Chi for inviting me to share what we did in Malaysia. And I take great pleasure to share with all of you. How do we invite so many spectators to join this the 2020 end of year blessing ceremony on clouds? Okay, I saw the other day that they were asking, is it possible? Of course, it is amazing, but it is true that we really go all out. We miss out no one to invite. As long as we know there are those who are interested to join, we would invite them. And this spread, in fact, across the whole of Malaysia, and not only that, we even crossed over to Singapore. Okay, in fact, we have done a few things. And first of all, I think all of us, we know that every year we are celebrating this end of year blessings. Of course, this year is very unfortunate that we are not able to not organize crowds to come and join. But I think, in fact, this is a blessing in disguise. We have to thank COVID-19 and MCO for giving this opportunity that without even going to Taiwan, we are able to meet Master Cheng online. I think this is the main core value that we are able to invite so many people. Okay, we start to tell you about what we did over the past years. I'm sure every one of us, we know that every year we are celebrating this end of year blessing and we are inviting all the people to come and join us. But this comes too suddenly that we know it's impossible to do that this year. So this is what we did over the past years, that we have to decorate the venue, and then we have to do a lot of preparation, even have to practice sign language. I'm sure in all places we are doing that as well. So this year we have no opportunity to do that. And this is the video that we send out every day, but different videos. Tell people of what we are doing and also invite them. So every day at 9 a.m. we'll be able to send out this and also do the countdown. So although this year we are not able to form this gathering, but at least we are able to enjoy this at home. So I think it's a rare opportunity that we're able to join Master Cheng. This is what we did over the past years. In fact, our donor members and all the people in the public, we are looking forward to the end of year blessing every year.
出一点点，双手合十，不在乎考验，让爱传出去。
So we are sending this invitation all over to whatever media that come across, maybe even from chat or WhatsApp or even to the Facebook.
那前方漫漫人生路，有你的祝福，没有过不去的苦。
Okay, way back in year 2009, I think we have the largest crowd when we perform this the end of year blessing in this visa. We have 1,018 people going on stage for the performance, and we have also 10 over 1,000 people joining us. And this is a 4-direction stage, so you can see from all corners. Okay, so in fact, we have established an affinity with all the people, and they are joining us to receive blessings from also from all people. That's why we say that 去万人福，那万人言. Okay, and many of our donor members and the public, they always recollect the memories of this 2009 end of year blessing with so many people on stage. And this is really very impressive. And until today, they could still remember fondly. Okay, these are the past memories that they are fondly remembering. And that's why when we invited them, they will always tell us about this. Although this is the closing ceremony, but the song has a close button. This our affinity still continues. So, although the show has come to the end, but our affinity still continues. This is an everlasting affinity that still go on. And apart from that, apart from people looking forward to joining this end of year blessing, I think this is the blessing that Master Cheng has given us. We are bonding the hearts of all Malaysians with love abound. And I think the main attribute, the crucial influence, is the golden opportunity to meet Master Cheng live on clouds, to receive a blessing. I think this is the greatest thing that everybody is looking forward to. That's the reason why we are able to, I think without much publicity, we should be able to gather people when we tell them that you are able to meet Master Cheng live on clouds. Okay. So apart from that, actually, we also go to every localities, to organize this end of year blessing ceremony, briefing seminar. So we tell all the volunteers how important is this. And then this started from since January. And we asked them to come and join, and we also explain to them about the significance of this end of year blessings. And of course, every year, I think our donor members, they are all looking very much forward to receiving Master Cheng Yen's envelopes of blessing and wisdom, and also the gift packs from Jingsi Abode monastics. All right.
这个红包是很重视的，是人家过年送什么我都没有高兴，我得到这个
He's always looking forward.
来了没有啊？我2013到现在每年都有
Okay, this actually this video is very inspiring. But because it's 8 minutes, so I cannot show all. But this is the CEO of a listed company. He's the CEO of this mini circuit. And then because in 2013, when he went back to be certified as this honorary board member, and Master Cheng Yen presented him with this great envelope of wisdom and blessing. And Master Cheng Yen mentioned that you have to carry it with you all along. Wherever you go, perhaps one day it may be helpful to you. But actually, the CEO fell down from his office, from the top staircase down to the end. Actually, when he went to see the doctor was surprised that how come he can still walk in personally to go for this medical checkup. Because actually he kept this red envelope of blessing and wisdom in his briefcase. So the briefcase fell down, and then when he fell down until the bottom of the staircase, so happened that his head was resting on the briefcase. So that's why he said he was safe. So this is a very inspiring video that we share with all people. And apart from that, actually we also do a poster to share with all people about this. But actually it's one poster, but I cut into different parts so that you can see it more clearly. And then we all invite them, and not stressing on this is a good opportunity that they can do this prayer on clouds together with Master Cheng Yen. And of course, we list out 4 points that they can do online registration. And online with Taiwan should see, there are a few videos that we presented over this, and to tell them about this and to remind them over and over again. And another thing is every day, the documentary teams, they will come together with concerted efforts to produce this countdown videos, which will be sent out every morning at 9 o'clock. I always remember, the day before, they will send me, and I'll do the translations. And then every morning, you should be able to see this flying all over, be it through this chat room or through Facebook. Okay, and then this is how we did. Now we tell them, including the videos, and then every day we'll be counting down to how many days until the last day that was on February 5th. We tell them that yes, it's tomorrow. So you see, keep reminding, drilling into them that this important date. Okay, and especially now you can see that last time we always register only for ourselves, but this time we even register for those people that we have invited, and they have got to take care of these people to remind them, every now and then that they have got to register. And you can see that actually all people we work all around. Like even our CEO also send out these daily reminders to all friends and all that. And then this is how the volunteers, they have also spread out to invite their family circles, their friend circle, and whoever that they are able to send this to penetrate into them. And every day we would also send in this our chat room. This is because in BrotherJoe, so I always every morning I will send out this to tell them about whether reminding whether they have already registered, and tell them about how many days more to this auspicious day. This, you see, we even extend invitation to Singapore. This is the Singaporean, our brother who also help, because we are not able to send over to them. So that's why we just made the phone call to Brother Huang, and then he was so kind to even give his own red packet to the donor members of our people in BrotherJoe. you see, we go out now even to schools, because now they have online teachings. So they also invite all the teachers and the students to come and join as well. And they even send out, through this express post to reach out to all people throughout the country. And you see, this is also another way of inviting people. That's why we go. No one we will miss. We hope that everyone. And then every day also we would send this. We send this to the volunteers to tell them that, oh, today how many have have registered, and the increase. So with this, I think it will stir up their excitement to invite even more people. Okay, even our dialysis patients, while doing the dialysis treatment, they also make phone calls, to invite their friends and donors to attend this online end of year blessings. Okay, you see, this is how we did. Not all people, actually, no matter who, we would still reach out to invite them. Okay, there are so many ways that we invite, and then because of the volunteers and their enthusiasm to invite more people, because we know that we want to cherish this opportunity to be to receive Master Cheng Yen's blessings. Okay, we even go to Facebook, and I think this is a very important. Okay, until the day on February 6th, we will tell them today, yes, it's today. Count down to 6 minutes. We even call them up to remind them about this. And finally, on this day, everybody will well prepared and wear proper uniform, and we go online. Okay, yeah, this is part of the how February 6th online joining Master Cheng Yen programs. Even sometimes when they are at work, they also join, because they are able to just spare a few hours. This is from the old folks' home. We also go there to invite them. We are really grateful that we are able to go online. Because we make the vow that we want to follow Master Cheng Yen, step by step, to the distance between our hearts. Always be with Master Cheng Yen, and we are committed to transmit Dharma lineage forever. With that, thank you very much. This is just my short sharing. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do in sharing with you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for sister sharing, and thank you. And actually, I think as you mentioned that because the year 2020 actually is the year of pandemic, and actually all the activities is already been restricted, cannot be back to as the previous years ago that we have done so great big events for the year blessing ceremony. And I think, but if you think the other way around, I think this is what Buddha or our masters taught us, that this is called impermanence. You never expected that, we have done, this kind of year blessing has been carrying on years to years, and definitely this year, year 2020, we do the same thing. You can't expect it, but I think this is also a great lesson for us to reflect ourselves. This is the time for us to do some changing, and instead of we carry on the past, what we so-called the normal life. But I think it's time for us to reflect that through the advance of the spiritual power of our internet, everyone still can get a chance, which is to meet masters on live on the cloud. And I think this is a very great opportunities for everyone who never got a chance came back to Taiwan, but yeah, you still can meet masters personally or to share your own experience. So in the other way, we should harbor the impermanent heart, and there's never always a fixed, everlasting. No, this is the first step. The point that teaches that we must harbor the impermanence of mind, and the second is we must stimulate our to enhancing our very thirsty for the Dharma, which is you try different way to get more Dharma and to nourish our the thumb heart. I think this is a time for us to, since we have some restriction on some movement for the Tzu Chi activities, so this is a good chance for us to learn Dharma through internet or maybe read book or something, so that this is time for you to settle yourself and to set down your mind and to think calmly and what you can do for future for our Tzu Chi missions. So I think this is not too bad if you think of that way. So anyway, due to the time is already, I think it's close. So yes, still have 5 more minutes, but I think this is what I can share regarding just now, just as you're sharing. So thank you. I think I end my feedback. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful sharing today. Very kind now, Master Huang, BrotherJoe, and Sister Sifu for lots of heartfelt and wisdom sharing. Indeed, the great hunger for Dharma. I think we also can see the deep faith and the deepest gratitude. So must repent when we see it's another online, but to the wise one, to the reverent and diligent Bodhisattva, they will seize it as an opportunity, truly indeed. Because here and blessing for us, because we are not in Taiwan, we have to, normally we don't have, not normally, this is the first time we can have it with Master online. When they see true with Dharma's eye, everything is possible. Very grateful. Yeah, indeed, Sister Sifu, very grateful. We know that the PPT sister has it's very thick, but because of time constraints, sister could not share it. But yeah, there will be affinity. We already hear our roots. Some of the ground they are asking if Sister Sifu can continue to share. Maybe in Mandarin we will organize that later. How can